Alrighty guys, so in this video we're going to cover Speeduino hardware 101, so stay tuned. Okay, so in my hand right now I have a Speeduino V0.4 ECU. It's fully assembled. It's in an aluminum enclosure, a Hammond aluminum enclosure with some custom orange end plates. And it's ready to pretty much make a harness to connect to a vehicle. Right, so we're gonna start from the beginning. Before you get to this point, let's cover every single thing there is to know about Speeduinos. Okay, so in my hand right now, I have the Speeduino V0.4. For the purpose of this video, I'm simply going to be talking about the V0.4. There are many Speeduinos on the market, so I am just going to use this one since it's easy and it's probably one of the most popular and widely used boards around. So what is Speeduino? Speeduino is basically an open source engine management system. By open source, what I mean is that it's built, developed, and tested, and the code and everything is available to the general public. So you can get the hardware, you can design your own PCBs based on the tried and true tested schematics and code and everything. So it's open. It's not like a closed source like insert whatever big name ECU, say a Haltech, an AEM or whatever, where you can only buy a Haltech. You cannot use Haltech code. You cannot ask for their code to modify to do whatever you want. So with Speeduino, you can get the schematics, you can design your own boards, you can change the code, you can add, subtract, whatever feature you decide you want to do. It was originally developed and created by a guy in Australia by the name of Josh Stewart about 2014, if I recall correctly. And then since then it has taken off. It has been installed on hundreds, if not thousands of vehicles. By now there are dozens of different designs. So we have Speeduino V0.4s, we have UA4Cs, you have NO2Cs, and they are all just different boards, different designs, different designs designed by different persons to do different things, right? So that essentially is what Speeduino is. So this box will be replacing something like this. This is an ECU out of a 90s Toyota Hilux. So it's pretty big compared to this. So this is set. So this is a fixed ECU from Toyota. So this can only run the engine in its stock configuration and maybe a little wiggle room for adding an air filter or something. But then anything you add after that, this cannot suffice. So you need a programmable ECU. And this is where Speeduino comes in. Speeduino is basically one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest standalone ECU on the market. And I dare say it offers the best bang for buck out of any ECU on the market. First things first, the Speeduino is, we need hardware, right? And this is an assembled V0.4 board. Right, so on this board we can see that we have resistors, capacitors, diodes, etc., etc. Now this board I chose because for this video to show you the difference between the components, and on there, if you buy the assembled board, you'll be getting something like this. Again, there are many versions. Some of them come with through hole, some of them come with surface mount. And what surface mount is quickly is those small resistors and capacitors that almost a human cannot do by hand. These are done at a factory. And through hole are these type of components where you can just put them into the board, put them in the place, and solder on the side. Again, this is not the purpose of this video, so we're not going to get technical. So you can buy assembled boards like this, or you can start off with a bare board like this. This is a Speeduino V0.4.2 board. So the numbers on the board V0, you will often see V0.3, V0.4, etc. These are just different series of boards. Some of them have more features and capabilities than others, but for the purpose of this video we're not going to cover that right now. So you can look up the different boards and find out which one exactly fits your need. So you can get a bare board like this, and you can, if you buy a kit from one of the official resellers, you get boxes with components like this. Obviously not this. This is just piles of components I have here. So you'll get capacitors, resistors, map sensors, etc. from your supplier, wherever you buy your kit, and then you basically just solder it up onto the board. Takes a little time. Typically it takes about 3 to 4 hours to solder up a board, or you can pay the extra money and get yourself an assembled board. So when you have the assembled board, you will need the Arduino. This is the brain of the Speeduino. This is what the code goes on, and this is what all your firmware changes, and when you tune, the changes will be going to this, and then this works in conjunction with the board. So the board essentially just sits, see some pin headers, the board essentially just sits on the top of there like this, and this is all you would pretty much need hardware wise. Some boards, well, all of them, I would imagine, you also have a provision for a VR conditioner. That is, if your vehicle comes with a VR sensor and you need to condition it so that Speeduino can understand the signal. Again, we're not going to get into that. I'm gonna put a link down in the wiki, which will cover more in depth all of these little bits and what these little bits do. But for now, we're going to keep it real simple. So to buy this, you'll be wondering where to get it from. So there are various sources all over the internet, and you can get them from the official Speeduino resellers, which I highly recommend. With that, you are supporting the community, and then you are also buying from reputable dealers who will provide after-sale service for you. So I'm going to also put a link to the wiki pages as to where to buy. I buy all of my stuff from WTMtronics, but there are sellers all over the world, depends on where you are. Like I said at the beginning of the video, when it comes down to choosing the Speeduino, there are dozens of Speeduino. So this is the V0.4 board. These are obviously one of the most popular boards. I think they've been out since like 2014. But the users have also taken the hardware and the schematics for this, which is all available free online, and they've designed their own. So we have boards like this one, which is a UA4C, another one of my personal favorites. We have the NO2C, which is this one. You can do 2 channels, so we can do up to 4 cylinders in batch. This one can do 4 channels, so we can do up to 8 cylinders in batch, etc., etc. So you would obviously need to do your research before you figure out which board is best for you. But then the dealers, there are dealers in the UK, dealers in Australia, and dealers in the USA. To my knowledge, there may be other persons selling it on eBay in different odd parts of the world. Like for instance, China may have someone selling it. There may be guys in New Zealand, for instance, but the official sellers are listed on the site. So to assemble a board like this with, if not this one, but if it was completely through hole, the surface mount again are done by a factory. To assemble the completely through hole boards, I may get one to show in a bit. It typically takes you about 2 to 3 hours, depends on how good you are with a soldering iron. Guys, I've heard guys who can do it in about an hour if they're really quick. I do have an assembly video for a V0.4 on the channel, and I'm also going to link that down below, and that will show you essentially how to assemble a Speeduino V0.4 board. And again, you can skip all of the assembly stage and then just buy the boards pre-assembled nowadays, and then that will save you a lot of time and money. So now that you have this, you have your assembled board like this. There are also enclosures. So the UA4C has its enclosure and end plates, etc. This is the V0.4. This is a Hammond enclosure. These are some custom end plates. And right here on the V0.4, there's a ribbon cable that goes into it. Now this usually gives folks some stress as to how to connect it to their car. There are many ways to go about it. Some folks choose to not put this connector at all, and instead just use this and solder wires directly to there and solder it to whatever connector they want or wherever they want it to go. There are many ways to skin the cat. There is no right or wrong way to do this. In my case, I always use the ribbon cable which plugs there, my custom end plate, and I use this. This is a adapter board which I made a couple of years ago. I believe it's called a V4UC. It's available at WTMtronics for pretty cheap. So basically the adapter board just plugs into there like so. I'll show you an example of one that I had assembled a couple months ago on another vehicle. So it plugs into there like this, and this hole, you just sort out whichever wires. So this is connected to these holes. So you just connect your wires to the back side of this, and then you connect the wires to a full harness, to an adapter, whatever it is you want to do. Again, your only limitation at this point is your brain. So for the V0.4, I highly recommend the V4UC for connecting to a car. So now that you have your assembled Speeduino like this, hopefully with a V4UC adapter board, you would then need to connect it to the car. So you would use this to build your harness, connect it to whatever sensors and whatever outputs and inputs you need on your car. Again, every single car is going to be different. A Honda is going to be totally different to a Skyline, but the fundamentals are still the same. At the end of the day, we're trying to connect injectors, coils, idle valves, TPS, intake sensors, etc., etc. So you go through your list, you wire up everything accordingly, and then you're good to go. In addition to that, you will also need a laptop to program this. This accepts, I forgot the name of the USB cord, but the common type that goes into most printers. So you connect here, connects to your laptop, then you flash on firmware on this. We'll cover the firmware and the software side in a subsequent video, but for the most part, that's all you need. Connect fully assembled Speeduino in a box. Hopefully it's in a box so you have some protection that you don't step on it. And then you connect your laptop, connect your vacuum line or your boost reference if you're running a boosted car to your intake manifold. And that's essentially all you need to get a V0.4 purchased, assembled, and installed on your car. Right, so I'm hoping this one is helpful. Leave a comment down below if it was. If it wasn't, still leave a comment down below. Let me know what I missed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Till then, stay safe.